Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Welcome once again to Dork Duck Daily show with all the news you nerd and other fixins. Big week. Tomorrow is a big day for both Delilah and Lena. It is the 1 year anniversary of Dork Duck, and it's Lena's birthday tomorrow.
It is both of those things.
Happened tomorrow, and then it is Rad Raptor Comics' 7-year birthday on what day is that hitting? That's the 9th, whenever that is. Sunday. So then on Sunday, yeah, that the store turns 7. So it's kind of crazy that time just keeps marching on and moving forward, and seems a little surreal. Seems a little surreal and weird, and kind of crazy. That said, we will be here tomorrow night. We'll be here in the morning tomorrow too. We'll be here tomorrow night, doing a big anniversary / Selena's birthday party stream bonanza. I think she wants to play The Sims, so I gotta work today to get that all set up so that she can sit and vibe and play The Sims while we all hang out and have a good time and just chill and enjoy what's been like a interesting, like, so we set out to do this a year ago, and so many things changed and twisted and turned, and
I can't get my chat to load on iPad, so I had to put it phone.
the Twitch isn't working on the iPad at all.
It's just not letting me log in, which is weird.
That's weird.
I don't know why.
Sam says happy birthday or pre-birthday, Lena.
Thank you.
Yes, it is tomorrow. And so also no Final Fantasy stream today because we're gonna be basically doing our family celebration today, since today we don't have to like be at a store or anything. So we're gonna go do some adventures, and I think did you settle on a restaurant yet?
No.
She very much wants to go to a Target and a Barnes and Noble, and then
Target because of one thing specifically.
Yeah.
But it might be obtainable elsewhere.
Then I think
I would prefer not to go to Target.
I think she wants a milkshake.
I do want a milkshake.
So we're figuring it out. What's
I don't
up,
know.
Cheeky? Good morning.
I'm struggling because, like, this isn't me being like, I don't get to go out and do anything anymore. It's just like, since I don't work in a different town anymore, I don't go as many places.
Yeah.
So when I do go places, I'm just like, I need to make this worth the trip.
Now you know how like new parents feel. That is like the word, like when like you go out and you haven't been out in like 2 years because you have a 2-year-old, and people are like, "What is wrong with you? Why do you like we have to do all the things?"
Yeah,
like, it's just like this.
Vaguely how I feel, kind of. Like, I almost went clubbing tonight, and I was like, I'm not gonna have. I don't even know it. I'm still up in the air about that, honestly. It's gonna be like 8:00, and I'm gonna be like, do you want to go to Necto?
Like, no, but if you do, I'm contractually obligated to say yes to you all week. So that's the
all week.
It's your birthday week.
Can we get another cat?
Yes.
That was just a test. I don't actually think we need another cat. I thought you were gonna say no.
Sam says that's probably how Shiki feels when she gets to leave the house once a month. Yeah, yeah, you go a little crazy if you don't get out enough, and then
Well, I get out. I go to work, but like and like work downtown. So like there's things downtown. I just don't like go anywhere besides the town that we live in, and from point A to point B, sometimes point C. So like, yeah.
Yeah, there's
As
no.
opposed to like when I worked in a different town, I used to like be like, "Oh, that looks like fun. I'm gonna go do that." And
I'd be like, "Hey, can you stop at the movie store and see if they have anything?" And you'd be like, "Absolutely." And then you'd come home, and I'd be like, "So how was the movie store?" And you're like, "Oh, I forgot. I did go to Target and get, or what was Home Goods? Is that what
home
that's
goods,
called?
yeah,
A lot of Home Goods."
lot of home goods. Yeah, no, like, well, the problem was that the movie store was on like the other side of that town, and you had to get on the expressway to get there, and it's like that's fine, but like whenever I'd get on the expressway, my brain would be like, home, it's time to go home. And like when I just went elsewhere, like to the places that were closer, it was like I didn't have to drive that way that I normally went to go home, so my brain wouldn't like go home.
It was also funny because it was like we spreadsheeted everything out with you taking that job of just like, yeah, actually, yeah, you will, and it's a better job for mental health reasons. And it's like, you will actually, make, even though it's a commute and you're spending gas money and mileage and stuff, you will actually make money. We forgot to put the Home Goods and Target trips into the spreadsheet.
That was yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we're going to Home Goods today. I don't know.
I don't know either. That would be like weirdly nice. Like I don't need like fancy stuff for my birthday, but I do want like practical stuff, like a shelf or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like a month or two ago, you were like, "I want this mop for my birthday," and I was like, "We can just get you that mop."
Yeah, like, well, I'm not buying you a mop for your birthday. Silly.
We'll see what Jeffrey gets you for your birthday though, because it's been a lot of like, "Come on, tax returns." They're like almost there.
I like food.
I've been like,
Food.
"Come on, come on." They're all approved, and we're just like, I thought I did fine in like if I would have been able to get them all done the first day I sat down to do them, which I was so close, then I would for sure have them by now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was missing like one form, and I couldn't. It took me like another week to get a hold of it, and then all week it's just been like.
That's okay. You can just
They should be hidden here.
do a
any
rain
second.
check on the
They
birthday
should be
gift,
hidden
and then I can get
any
a birthday gift later.
Yeah. When does the Hello Kitty finally get a physical release?
I
Because
have
that's
no idea. You're like hyper fixated on me getting that game, and I've like been like panicking about that game because I'm scared I'm not actually gonna like it, just because I fell off of Animal Crossing so hard.
Yeah, but our house is filled with Hello Kitty stuff.
Correct.
Why? In what world would you not want the physical copy of that game,
don't-
even if you don't enjoy it?
I don't.
March 25th. They couldn't even get it out before that game has like been out for like a month and a half now. Goodness gracious. Why do they do that? The physical release takes that much longer. It's annoying. Hate it. Hate it here. I was talking with someone at the shop on Saturday. And this is your indicator that it's like maybe it's time, if you're not seriously looking at like physical media collecting and you do like games. I would say that the PS5 and Xbox Xbox Series, whatever the fuck that thing is called. I would say the print runs on those are so tiny on the physical games released for those things, because people just aren't buying them. Which means that 10 years from now, because Microsoft gonna Microsoft and Sony gonna Sony, or 20 years from now or whatever, and they're going to be trying to shut down the like digital stores for these places and stuff.
Oh my god, sorry.
Bless you.
Just snuck up on me.
Those
Scared me.
those physical games are going to be worth actually probably quite a bit, because there's going to be a lot of things that you can't like. It's going to be weird. It's going to get weird. I know the
Weird.
well, it already has a couple of times the physical release of the PlayStation 5 physical copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake, like that for a while. They just did another printing of it though, so I don't know what it's doing now, but for a while that thing was like selling for like 150 bucks. Sam said, it's bold of you to think these shitty companies will exist in another 20 years. All big tech companies are extremely young. That's true, too. Which, again, means, like, hey, maybe... Yeah, because how old is Sony? Nintendo has been around for, like, 100+ years. I'm kind of wondering... When founded 7th May 1946, so they're 78 years old. Yeah, which GE went down in my lifetime, so that doesn't really mean anything. But yeah, all that to say, like that could happen too. It is like even if everyone, Sam and I were talking about like the PS3 store and like buying stuff on it and how it was going to get shut down, but then they went through and convinced them not to, and like see there's actually quite a bit of stuff on there, and that's all great. If Sony ever went under, that back end goes under, and then you're still left with like what if there's physical media. Sam says, if one thing we've learned from history, companies go out, nothing is forever. Yep. Everything changes, goes away eventually. So, physical media. You should do it. That's what I'm saying. And Selena has joined physical media with going for cassette tapes.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that I really want for my birthday that I'm search for is I got this a while ago.
It's a Hello Kitty boombox
Yeah.
with a tape deck and a CD player. And yeah, we found it in a flea market, and they sell for a lot when they're like cleaned up and didn't look like the one we found in the flea market. And
It's just yellowed. It's not bad. You got to do the like retro brighting or whatever you want to call it. Oh, that's
what?
It was also in the car for a while, and so our kids kept putting their feet on it, and, like kicking it, and like that was my own dang fault for leaving it in the car. But also,
Yeah, I had no idea it was in there.
Like, I don't know. A sense of carefulness would be nice too when getting in one's car. But no, it's just yellow. To be like, not like yellow.
But you got your Phoebe Bridgers cassette tape in there right now.
I do. My brain didn't register it was on this one. That works too.
Part of the show.
Sure.
Sam said nice, Lena. Oh, it's cute. Both love and hate cassettes. They're neat bits of history, but I cannot see one without having my brain barrage with old Christian kids songs.
Mine was like the Disney single songs.
Yeah.
Or the old like someone reading Frank.
You had Frankenstein on tape?
Cassette, yeah.
And
it used to scare me. scary, obviously.
Did it have sound effects and stuff, or was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and my grandma would put it on the cassette player for me.
Now we're gonna listen to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I had a lot of books on tape, and so I listened to a whole heck of a lot of, and I would like put them on when I was going to sleep at night. Which is funny because it's like that's probably the start of like Jeff hates sleeping, so turns on this thing really loud so that he can like continue to have his brain stimulated while he falls asleep. Still trying to sign in.
I think I
Okay.
don't know why it's complicated. I just on a bigger screen.
It's which wants to be somewhat secure.
Well, damn, secure as fuck.
Sam says Jeff, since so much of our past was similar, did you ever have the Salty cassettes? It was like a sentient songbook that taught kids about Jesus.
Talking to me. How do I make it stop?
I sure did have that, Sam. We had the VHSs of it. Salty, which the cassettes say nothing to like the actual visuals of Salty the singing songbook. Because it's supposed to be like a Barney type thing. It is nightmare fuel and a half. I'm not gonna like play any of it. It is a dude in a. I need people to know what Sam and I are referring to. It is insanity. Like he's a dude.
I don't like that. I
No,
don't want you to show me any more of that. It's like the day before my birthday, and I don't want that in life. No, put it away. Put it away.
He's Salty
bro.
the singing songbook.
I don't want it in my peripheral or direct vision. Thank you.
Yeah, that was just the thing that like we turned on, and like there's one the specific video I had also had like a dude.
I think this is it my is your I don't know. It's frozen on your face.
It's frozen on my face.
For my I'm just looking at the chat right now. I'm not looking.
I don't know.
I don't care. Just mine. Okay, cool. I
Sam's
just
stream is not
I
frozen.
just needed to load the chat, not my.
Okay.
My God.
Lena's device froze. Okay. But yeah, the Salty tape that I had also had a dude dressed up in a dog suit running around with Salty. It was something else. Sam says, do you think the actor is salty about being salty? I wonder what. Do we know anything about the guy? I'm sure there's some sort of like controversy.
Dr. Pepper in our dining room through the door. I don't know why that's funny. Not like through this door. I mean like through the stream, through the door.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can see the cans of Dr. Pepper.
Through the door. Like wait. Hold on. Hold on. Just wait. I'll point it out when it goes back to the door. There you go. Okay. Yep. There it is.
Oh yeah, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I don't know. Sometimes I watch the screen and it's like a seek and find in my own house, where I'm just like, ooh, there's that over there.
I'm gonna have to fall down the rabbit hole of finding out about the guy who made Salty.
Yeah.
Rabbit hole of finding out
Maybe
about
we
us.
don't do that right now.
No, but I'm just saying, like, eventually. Okay. Hey, we don't just cover Dr. Pepper and Salty the Singing Songbook on this show. We also Fairly sure. We also cover
Pete.
all the newsy nerd in a segment we like to call the Daily Quack.
Oh, my boy. My Pete. My boy. Doesn't want you to touch his feet like that. He's not a fan.
Morning, Vince. Magic the Gathering reveals new Spider-Man set. You ready for some Spider-Man magic cards?
You ready for some Spider-Man magic cards, Pete? No, okay.
This
He does
from
not like that idea.
Cameron at Polygon. Says at Toy Fair 2025, Wizards of the Coast debuted a Magic the
Hi.
Gathering expansion that, frankly, I'm surprised didn't already exist. Marvel Spider-Man is the latest collaboration to get the MTG treatment, with several products coming out on September 26th. Morning, Nix. Finn says, "Oh God, fam it." Yeah.
Over there.
That's quite a ways out.
There's another cat. They're like all slowly funneling in here.
Hello, Pancake. That's quite a ways out, but Amazon is already serving up pre-order links for a $69.99 bundle, a $37.99 collector's booster packs, a $209 box of play boosters, and Spidey's Spectacular Showdown. There they are.
I don't know. I don't know about all that. I kind of want the Spider-Gwen.
I hate this so much.
The goblin in me is just like, more trinkets. Yes, please.
It says, I have to admit, I'm a hypocrite. I hate the Universes Beyond stuff, but I bought one of the Warhammer ones, and I'm dying to see the Final Fantasy cards.
Oh, me too. The Final Fantasy ones look cool.
I mean, they all look cool, but again, it's like Magic used to exist as like...
I don't care. Well, I mean, I care, but like, I refuse to let that dampen my joy for this thing. I'm letting myself happy
about
silly little things like that.
About the intellectual property takeover of Magic the Gathering.
I don't want to think about it that hard. I just want to see nice art on a Magic card and be like, yay, and like hold it in my hands.
When it's like, it's interesting because it's like, the Universes Beyond thing made sense to me a little bit when it was like Godzilla. Like Godzilla is a thing that you could like roll into to Magic.
Roll, like I just pictured someone rolling Godzilla, like just pushing him across the plains, like the chonky boy he is.
He's a chonky boy.
Oh my gosh, I love Godzilla.
But like having a Magic card with Godzilla on it makes sense in a way that having a Magic card with Spider-Man does not. You know, having a Magic card with Final Fantasy stuff on it makes sense in a way that having a card with Spider-Man does not.
You sell comics. I would stop with this like erasure of Spider-Man Magic. You could get behind this. You could sell these at the store. Oh my God, you could sell these at the store.
Yeah.
Jeff.
What?
Jeff.
What?
We have people coming in all the time and being like, do you sell Magic cards here? This could be the beginning of a beautiful...
I'd have to set up a whole distributor and like...
Not true. I would have to do that probably.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe not. Maybe you would.
Yeah,
but
we'll figure it out.
But like, no, that's an amazing idea.
Vince says...
And then we could do Magic tournament at the store, and I could play Magic again.
Vince says, if Kefka is fun, I will probably build a commander deck for him. Kefka commander deck does sound like fun. Cheeky says Godzilla rolls are yummy.
Like the sushi.
I don't know. I didn't even know there was. I thought it was just a joke because you were saying Godzilla rolling. That Godzilla rolls.
Yeah. I think Godzilla rolls is sushi. Yeah,
Shiki
sushi.
wants sushi now.
I only eat cucumber rolls because I have a weird palate.
Vince says high fantasy IP makes more sense, but it is odd for this. It's just, I don't know, man. It does feel like we let a horse out of the barn that we should have kept in there with this.
Why? Why do you want to keep the horse in the barn? Let him into the pasture with the other horses. Do you know how sad and lonely that horse is?
Other corporations are IP polyamorous. Why can't Magic be? I don't know. It's just again, Magic used to
polyamorous.
Magic used to have its own like lore and universe and like integrity. It's gone now. Will I buy?
I just realized that Beatrice is sitting on Subaru in that poster because I was looking for Subaru and I was like, weirdly enough, Subaru ain't in that poster. He is. He's just being sat on.
That's probably exactly where he wants to be. I mean, Subaru.
Oh, you haven't even gotten to meet like half the characters in that poster.
No, we need to watch more.
I know.
Vince says agreed. Vince says because Magic stories and lore used to be wondrous, and my rose-tinted glasses make me want to shout at clouds. Yes, same. Shiki says because Magic is just bored and they would get jealous. Don't let them do it. Hey, the PSVR 2 gets a permanent $150 price cut.
I don't care. I can't put a VR headset on comfortably.
Because of glasses?
Yes,
Yeah.
and also I just get headaches with VR, which
Um,
makes me feel sad because I feel like I would like VR.
I think I would.
Is VR chat only available in VR? I know that might be a dumb question.
I don't think so. Because. Yeah, I don't think so. It probably should be, but it's like that's also like the hot mess of a. I know that's the thing that like went through the all the siblings and cousins were like, y'all need to make sure this is shut down because like all of the kids were like trying.
Me, not
Yeah,
for the
no,
kids.
I know. I'm just saying like,
I want to enjoy this thing.
None of them have access to VR, but I remember that was like a thing that had to get shut down at some point. So that would make me assume that it's something you don't need VR for.
Yeah, interesting.
Nick says take ginger pills before doing VR helps a ton.
Huh. I may actually try that because like I struggle a lot with VR. I've struggled basically every time too. Like it wasn't just like a onset of like, oh my gosh, like suddenly this is difficult. It was like the first time I ever did it. I was like, this isn't fun. Why is everyone else having fun and I'm like dying? I used to play the one where you would have to like move around.
Oh, the VR game where you have to move around?
Stop. Like the one where like you what was it? It wasn't Saber. It was like similar to that though. It was a very active VR game. You had to like move around your little spot to like
Do you have anything more descriptive about what was happening in the game?
in the game?
Yeah.
Like a really big like kind of like everything was white and like no, I like there was no like detail to the world.
Okay.
It wasn't Beat Saber, it was something else. It's like a free VR game, I think, for the PlayStation VR.
Okay.
And it was like very active. Like I would like it was like a workout to play that game.
Nick says VR sickness can be bad. I remember a woman at work was testing a patio furniture placement app for Canadian Tire. It made her so sick she had to go home. Yeah, I think it was like a really neat new toy, and much like 3D a couple of years ago or 10 years ago now.
I think it was called Super Hot. I'm not even kidding.
Super Hot?
Yeah, it's called Super Hot. Yep.
Super Hot is the FPS game that the world only moves when you move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's VR though.
Yeah, they re-released it in VR.
Yeah, and it's fucking intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like the whole thing with that game is like the time that anything in the game world only moves as you move. And so putting that in VR is like kind of fucking crazy because it's like
I used
it's all
to
Matrixy.
like fucking like trip over my couch and like hide behind my couch and like do a bunch of crazy shit like. And I was like in a 1-room like studio apartment, so it was bad, but like it was fun though. It was a good time. That is one good thing I can take away from. I should have taken the VR heads.
We ended up with half of it.
We did.
It's right here.
This is my bad. Like I really didn't mean to. Dude stole my fucking capture card, so I don't care. Like anytime I find something of his that I'm like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to have that. I'm like, he knowingly stole my capture card, so I do not care. It makes me laugh that he's probably spent a long time looking for the other half of that PlayStation VR, and I have half of it.
Sure, we didn't even know we had it till like we were cleaning the car out.
We didn't know what it was.
Like, what is this? And it's like, oh, it's a PSVR thing.
Also, my bunny.
Welcome back, Sam.
Chewed through one of the cables once, which, like, that's just what bunnies do. They chew through things.
Yeah.
But like in my head, I'm just like, yeah, that was a personal like insult to him.
Nick says VR is just clunkier than we want it to be, and we need more spaces than is ideal. Yeah. I think this thing happens though, where it's like every so many decades, we retry these ideas, and the technology is so much better than it was the last time we did, and so like everyone loses their minds for a second, and then we hit the limitations, and then we set it back down.
Fucking VR for Phasmophobia? Oh no. Yeah, also you don't need VR for VR chat. You can play in desktop mode, which lets you use a mouse, keyboard, and monitor.
Yeah.
How do you move your little person around then?
Nick says VR feet with Virtual Boy. I don't know how. I imagine it's just like little controls that move a person around.
Huh.
I don't know. Every time someone shows off VR chat, I'm just like, there's always this hot second that I'm like, oh man, did they make a sequel to Jazz Punk? And it's like, oh no, it's that stupid VR chat thing. And then
stupid.
Listen, Jazz Punk ruled.
I don't know what that is.
All right. PSVR 2 gets a permanent $150 price cut. This is from Brennan Hess at GameSpot.
Y'all ever like look at something on Steam and realize it's already in your Steam library? I did not know that.
You already own VR chat?
Apparently. Watch one of the kids downloaded it.
Sam says Jazz Punk was wild. One of Cran's favorite games. Yeah, that game's great. Nick says VR, though, when done well, is incredible. Like Rush of Blood for PSVR 1 was terrifying. No one has ever played that game and not gotten spooked the hell out.
I just couldn't do any horror, even like hokey Phasmophobia horror in VR. I can barely handle Phasmophobia. It's so silly because I'll be sitting here like hyperventilating. I can't play that game by myself.
Phasmophobia is maybe the least scary game ever
and
invented.
Jeff is just sitting here like, this is the
Carol! Carol! Is my mic on? Carol! The ghost name's Carol, right?
He hates that game so much. Oh my god, it's my birthday. Can we please play Phasmophobia?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. We can do that because it's on console now. I think.
Is it crossplay?
I don't fucking know. You have a computer.
Not that can run Phasmophobia and stream.
Put it on Logan's laptop. We just gotta find a laptop charger. We just gotta find a charger. Oh my god, I think we're gonna do Phasmophobia for this birthday stream tomorrow.
Okay.
You're so... Jeff, it's my birthday.
I hate that game so
Jeff,
much.
it's my birthday.
Sam said this
You
might
said
make.
you'd say yes to anything.
I did. Sam said this might make Lena actually hate me, but would she ever play Visage?
Sam, I would never actually hate you, and I think I've heard of that game. Maybe. It gave you the definition of Visage.
The 2020 independent studio psychological horror game developed and published by Sad Square Studio. Mainly inspired by Silent Hill's playable teaser. Oh, okay. We might have to add this to the list
Tomorrow?
if you want. I would.
Wow, we're like just.
I would much rather do that than
We're playing.
Carol. It said Carol, right? I keep saying it.
It's different. Have you ever played the game though?
Phasmophobia?
Have you ever played it?
No, it's just like everyone I knew was playing it on streams at the same time, and it was like,
Wow, that might lead to the fact that maybe it's a fun game.
yeah, but usually when everyone is playing a game on streams, like you go like, okay, this is not usually a game I would go for, but like I can see the appeal here. Every time I looked at Phasmophobia and would watch streams of it, I would just be like, I hate this so much. I hate everything about it. I hate like the procedural generated thing of like none of this matters because it's all just randomized every time is like a big part of the like what is
a lot more fleshed out these days.
Yeah, but it was like but it's still like it's randomized every time.
You know who would really like Phasmophobia?
Who?
My mom.
Yeah?
We should get my mom to stream with us for my birthday. Oh my gosh. And we should play Phasmophobia. She would love that game. She likes ghost hunting in real life. I'm not kidding. She does that sometimes. And she invited me once and I almost went and then something happened and I didn't go. But she has friends.
Sam says Visage is one horror game that makes me viscerally uncomfortable. Like I'm so scared and uncomfy I don't want to progress, but it's such a good game.
I might have to add it.
Nick says, I like Demonologists a lot more than Phasmo. Their in-game events are well done. Sam says Jeff doesn't like ghost hunting confirmed. I like games that like have like more to them than that. And I think all of the gimmicks don't really work for me in that game.
They work for me. They work for me to the point where again I can't play that game by myself. I go into the house and I'm just like you do know when you go into the house it starts like playing this weird like ambient like hum.
Yeah.
And like the way that just like affects me so much, which is I realize is probably silly because again it is just a, as you put it, procedurally generated like hokey game, but it still scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, if I was like, oh man, let's play this game that is like that has like this handcrafted story and this handcrafted thing, and you go into a house and like there's this hum, and I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? Like,
well, you know what's gonna happen next? Ghosts are there. You're there to hunt the ghosts.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's no story.
That's what I'm. Yes, you're clocking the problem that I have with that game.
Well, I mean, I think now there's like story. Maybe I don't. It's been like literally years since I played that game. Probably because you hate it so much. To the back of my brain, I'm just like, I don't play Phasmophobia.
It's all the empty calories from the horror games that I love. Like they're like, "Hey, you kids want some jump scares?"
Yeah, actually, I do.
I want more going on than that.
Sometimes I don't want to commit to something like that.
Sam says Jeff wants Luigi's Mansion. Yes. Yeah, I love it. Sam says infinite replayability has to itch my brain correctly. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's. Cheeky says, yes, LOL. That's the issue we have. We like story. Um,
Yeah, I don't mind the infinite. Like sometimes infinite playability like does bother me because then I'm just like, well, it's never over. That stresses me out. I think it's less that like it's just like you can go in, you can do your silly little tasks, and then be done.
Shiki says demo is much better, but I don't love those games at all. I don't really enjoy having to run around and call names and ask questions. LOL. Nick says, Jeff, do you not find any appeal in a game that's infinitely playable? Very few. I like a lot of like roguelites and stuff, but even those like have a like I'm trying to build towards something.
That makes a level of sense.
But yeah, I don't think I like anything that's infinitely replayable. It's like Sam says Vampire Survivors does scratch that for him perfectly, and he doesn't know why. Sam says I'm with Jeff. Phasmo and Demonologist, content warning, etc. doesn't do anything for me. Shiki says I like content warning. It's silly, goofy, but Phaz is generally just annoying for me.
The reviews on Google is that 100% of reviewers loved the emotional impact of Phasmophobia.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Um,
I think it's also that you're not really into co-op games.
that is true.
And like that is what that is. Like you can play it by yourself, but it's not as fun because you have all your friends and your friends are being, haha, the ghost name is blah 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 blah. I'm gonna say the ghost name while you're near the ghost room and like get the ghost to get you and like.
Oh yeah, no, that has
I
any
used to
appeal
play
to
with
me.
a friend that would stay in the van the whole time.
I know. I watched a lot of those streams, and I would be like,
the
"What
one
is
in
happening?"
the fucking house, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to die in this game. Get in the house with me.
Nyx says they do have that aspect. At least Demonologist, you buy different bases and decorate them and buy pets. You can get a cat, and then if you keep feeding it, it turns into a super chonker cat. I do like that.
That
That's
sounds like fun.
Tim says that means those are botted reviews. Sony announced an official price drop for the PlayStation VR 2, bringing the VR's headset base price to $400 starting in March. That's where they should have started it at if they wanted to sell any of these. The change applies to both the PSV2 base model, which was $550, and the Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle was $600, available at major retailers. While the price drop goes into effect soon, the rollout will vary between stores. Some retailers like Amazon and Target are already listing certain models for the new price online, while others are still selling the PSVR 2 at its launch price. People don't have the money in their pockets to be pulling the trigger on the, like, you have to have bought a PlayStation 5, buy a PlayStation VR 2, and it's like to have both of those things at $600. It's just like that's just not where people are at right now. And it's a bummer because there's, as Nick's pointing out, there's a lot of games that people have a lot of great things to say about that I've never touched just because like that barrier to entry cost wise is just like so crazy high. And to spend that kind of money on something that I'm not sure how often I'll use. Like when I bought the PlayStation 5, I kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to buy the VR when they do it at some point. And I had kind of anticipated it being 400 and then it was 600 and I was like, "You know what? I guess I don't need one." Nick says the VR2 does look incredible. That Horizon VR experience game they did is really impressive. There's a lot of that stuff. At some point, I will get VR, and then it's going to be an embarrassment of riches because there will be like all these years worth of stuff that I've never gotten to touch. The first Astro bot thing actually happened in VR, and that's the only one of them I haven't played. And so that's pretty high on my list too. Hey, Nintendo Switch Online is removing a game for the first time ever. Yay. I love this reality. This is from Michael Brandon Ingram. Over at Game Rant. Snoopy says PlayStation VR at 400 doesn't really make much sense when the Quest is 300. What do you need to run the Quest? Just a good PC, or like? That's my question on this stuff. Like, I consider myself pretty well educated on a lot of video game and computer gaming and stuff. If someone came to me tomorrow and was like, "My kid really wants VR. What should I get?" I don't think I would have a good answer for them.
I'm reading the reviews of Visage. Is it Visage or Visage?
Visage. It's actually what.
Yeah, I'm reading the reviews for it, and like the various I don't know that they're like spoiler free, but I haven't seen anything that would like lead me to know things about things.
Yeah.
But it looks good. Sorry, I'm still in my own little like, what are we doing tomorrow? Land.
I thought.
Well, I pitched Phasmophobia and that got shot down. So
No, it's like, we'll do whatever you want to do. It's your birthday.
I actually genuinely don't. If we can do Phasmophobia because of your computer.
Yeah, we certainly both couldn't play it.
Well, what am I gonna do? Play it by myself?
Well, I would be here to be like, Carol!
Yelling through the same microphone.
So Nintendo has announced they'll be removing a game for the Nintendo Switch Online for the first time ever, cutting a sports game from its Japanese lineup. The retro games offered as part of Nintendo's online subscription have been one of the most popular facets of the membership for many fans, offering a plethora of older games. Fans can access a sizable library of NES, SNES, Game Boy games through the base membership, while the expansion pass adds Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, and Sega Genesis games. But now a game is leaving the service for the first time. Nintendo's selection of retro games with Nintendo Switch Online subscription has steadily grown over time, bringing new games to the service each month. Many of the developers' most popular games and franchises have been represented through the service, including classics like Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and even Fire Emblem. Put Pokemon on there, you cowards. Nintendo has even occasionally introduced popular third-party franchises, adding Mega Man, Game Boy games, Castlevania, The Adventure. However, the newest update to the service in Japan will actually see one game removed from its lineup. As reported by Nintendo Life, a new update from Nintendo's Japanese customer support service has revealed that a game will actually be leaving Nintendo Switch Online. The post reveals that developer Spike Chunsoft's Super Formation Soccer for the Super Famicom will officially be removed from the service late next month on March 28th. The post does not share any reasoning behind the soccer game's removal, with Super Formation Soccer first added to Nintendo Switch Online in 2019. The removal will be the first time that Nintendo has ever delisted a game from its Nintendo Switch Online service. The removal of Super Formation Soccer sets a shocking precedent for Nintendo Switch Online in the future. Since Nintendo Switch Online first debuted in 2018, Nintendo has never removed a title from its lineup of retro games. Super Formation Soccer's status as a third-party game could have made an impact on its delisting, given its status as a licensed soccer game. Nintendo has not made an official statement about whether Super Soccer will be delisted in other Nintendo Switch Online regions, with the international release published by Nintendo. Doobie says now many games can be run through a PC. My kid, uh, my kid, parts like 5 or 6 games run right through the headset. Kid plays like 5 or 6 games that run right through the headset. Oh, okay. Nick said there's a ton of stuff on the Switch store that's stolen from indie devs on Steam, then ported to Switch. That's crazy. Sam says it's kind of weird that people are shocked by this. This is how streaming content works. Yeah, I think it's the fact that like it hasn't happened yet. And so people are like, "Uh-oh." Cuz I know that's how streaming stuff works. You know how that streaming stuff works. People get into this remember like that world where like every time The Office was about to leave Netflix, everyone was losing their minds. And I would be like, "Guys, you could just buy DVDs of The Office." Like, what are you talking about? And then when it like moved and jumped to Peacock, I went on what is now Fandango at home, but like Vudu, and they put it on sale because it was like smart for them to at that time. And I bought the entirety of The Office for like $30. The reason I spent $30 on it is because my nephew, who worked with me at the time, like all that kid, he loves The Office. Like he is, for whatever reason, that generation that's like going into college now, like that is their they love The Office. They watch it all the time. It's very weird. It's not weird because it's like it's a fine show, but it's weird that like that generation, for whatever reason, like is obsessed with it all these years later. And so like he would hit the end of the show, and then he would just start The Office right back over again. No other shows. That's just what he would do. It was like in constant running. And so I was like, you know what, bud? Here you go. I bought the entirety of The Office, and it's for $30. Here you go. You can go nuts, man. And then he went and got Peacock so he could keep watching The Office. It's like, okay. Like, for whatever reason, people really like streaming things, and they really are attached to the idea that those things will never leave those services. And they freak out a little bit when they do. I don't fully understand it, but it is what it is. Sam says, yeah, streaming has kind of ruined media consumption. Nick says, yeah, on the stealing from devs thing. Yeah, I was reading an article about a dev who was dealing with it. Apparently, it's not uncommon. Nick says, I don't have room to store DVDs of every show I love, though. I built a shelf, but I get it. But I built it. It's okay looking for a shelf that I built. And then Sam said on the stealing from devs, damn, that sucks. I hope they get more coverage. I noticed a ton of indie games in the shop. I just assumed Nintendo made the process easier for them. As someone who loves video games and wants more people to have access, and especially people that aren't part of big corporations that have access to putting video games on these platforms, I think they all need to make it a little harder to put video games on these platforms. I think it should be a little harder to get into Steam, a little harder to get onto the Switch store. It's a little. Bring back the gatekeepers, please. A little bit, just a little.
You can have some gatekeeping as a treat.
Yes, it's just there's just a constant onslaught of stuff. Yeah.
Slaw.
Sam says, what do you mean, Jeff? You don't like the mountain of cheap hentai slop games?
How dare you?
Dibs
Quality.
Dibs on the band name Hentai Slop. All right. Here we go. You've made it through the whole show. Here's the story that is just for you.
Oh my god.
You ready?
Yes.
Earth's tiniest wild cat species captured on camera for the first time.
It looks like a tiny bug. Like my cat bug, not a literal bug.
Not a literal bug.
Oh, look at the baby.
Nick says, "Oh yeah, that little dude is so cute." Yep.
I gotta go get my He's not a little dude, but he's
Get your
he's
big
a
dude.
big boy.
Nick says, "So many RPG maker looking games and visual novel." Oh, that name's all mine. Thanks, Sam. This is, by the way, from Sarah Trainer at Yahoo News, who says, the rusted spotted cat, the tiniest and lightest cat on Earth, has covered new ground. A few weeks ago, it was spotted in West Bengal, a northeastern Indian state bordering Bangladesh. According to the Times of India, they're only found in India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, and are rarely spotted by humans. The Felidae Conservation Fund reports that they're a near threatened species. In the past, they were hunted by humans, mistaking it as baby leopards because of its similar coat. You tripped over another cat while carrying one cat.
Pancake, are you okay? She's after of my.
Its new appearance spells out good things for the local ecosystem. Anaj Gua, Divisional Forest Officer of Purulia, told TOI such a rare and sensitive lesser cat will only survive in a forest where it gets favorable ecosystem. The recent movement by tigers, presence of leopards, and now lesser cat also show the wild food chain is being maintained in the forest here.
Oh, he just. I don't know that I like that. I don't know that I approve. Big age difference. I don't know. Like how?
He's like 2 or 3.
Same age. They just look different ages. She's so little and he's so chunky.
Big dude.
He's a big man.
Yeah, that's the rusty spotted cat.
Oh.
The rusty spotted cat is one of the cat's family's smallest members, of which historical records are known only from India and Sri Lanka. In 2012, it was also recorded in the western derived Nepal. Since 2016, the global wild population is listed as near threatened. How big are they?
I don't know.
It's the smallest wild cat in Asia and rivals the black-footed cat as the world's smallest cat. It is 35 to 48 centimeters, 14 to 19 inches in length.
They're barely a foot.
They're like barely a foot.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Cute.
With a 15 to 30 centimeter tail, which is a foot long tail. So they're like a foot long and they have a foot long tail.
That's funny.
Waffles
is that little thing.
They weigh only 3.5 pounds.
Oh, Waffles isn't that little. Never mind.
Close,
but not
the
that
bushy
small.
tail is about half the length of the body.
Oh. The babies.
Yeah. Apparently their population, I was reading this while you're out, but part of the reason their population is so threatened is people used to think they were baby leopards, and when leopards were killing people, they were like, we'll get them when they're babies, but they were killing like...
We'll get them when they're babies? Why do we...
But they were killing like full adult versions of these cats.
Why would you even kill a baby leopard? I don't understand.
What?
I understand you think you need to like preserve your survivability in your land or whatever, but
yeah,
just wait for it to grow up and then it's on the same like that's not fair. The baby leopard can't defend itself.
Well, they weren't even baby leopard. That's the thing. Is
I know,
like,
but even if they were, wait till the leopard grows up. Give it a fighting chance.
yeah.
Like, damn.
Oh, the leopard beats human any day. Those things are fucking insane.
Fine, but stop.
Leopards rule. I love
They're
them so much.
Cute.
Yeah.
All cats are cute.
That's
Even the big murdery ones.
I totally would be one of those people just like murdered by a, but would probably live with I would be one of those people that'd be on the news that would be like missing an arm, and they'd be like, "Whoa," and I'd be like, "Oh, it was my fault. I shouldn't have like."
I pet a bear.
No, it'd be like one of those things where it's like I would read the situation wrong. I knew afterwards that it was like, "Oh, he was telling me not to come closer,"
but I still did. Yeah.
Yeah. Nick says, same plot as every time travel story to stop the Nazis get Hitler when he was a baby. Yeah, there's one of my favorite all-time comic books is the first run of Cosmic Ghost Rider by Dottie Cates, in which Cosmic Ghost Rider, if you don't know who that is, it is Frank Castle, the Punisher. When he dies, he fights his way out of hell because he's just like, fuck this, no, I'm not dealing with this.
I'm not dealing with it.
So he fights his way out of hell, and then when he comes out of hell, he's like not in like it's not like you come out of hell into America or anything. He's like out of hell, but like he's into the cosmos, and then he becomes like another Ghost Rider that is Thanos and Galactus like use as a pawn to like do stuff, and it fucking rules. Like that's all like in like that one Thanos run, but then he's the Cosmic Ghost Rider, right? He rides around on a space motorbike. It's silly. But the first run of comics that are like titled after him, he goes back in time to kill Thanos when Thanos is a baby. So it's just like, this motherfucker, I gotta just...
What do you think Thanos looked like, baby?
I know what he looks like as a baby, because in this comic, when he gets there, he can't bring himself to do it. And so he starts riding around the cosmos with baby Thanos and a baby Bjorn on his chest.
What?
And then he's riding around on the space motorbike with a baby Bjorn. It is fucking amazing. What's up, Dylan? Dylan says, my toxic trait, if not friend, then wide friend shaped. Yes.
Aww.
You looking at baby Thanos? Let me see if I can find an image with like... Yeah, he has him in like the fucking baby Bjorn. It's great. High recommend. It's one of my favorite comic books. It's just so silly. This is Cosmic Ghost Rider is my jam. Yeah, it's very good. Oh, they made a silly
Funko Pop.
Yeah, I don't really usually go for these, but it's got
I have the Digimon one, so I understand.
Look, it's got the
baby. Yeah, it has the baby Thanos. Baby.
That's so silly and great. I don't know, man. You like Cosmic Ghost Rider? Have you decided what we're doing tomorrow night? Are we playing Phasmo?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Are we playing the game that Sam sent through?
Visage?
Like I said, I believe it's called Visage. Visage.
Visage?
Visage.
All right. Well, that's an option. I'm also kind of like jonesing for some Monster Hunter too.
I wonder if my tax returns
I don't want you to spend your tax returns on
I mean, you need a birthday present.
this is us. I can't be accepting of a gift even on my birthday, apparently.
Hold.
I thought you were gonna say holy, and I was like, oh, it came
No.
through. Nice. No, it didn't come through.
They're all the IRS tracker has it all approved. I just need them to show up. It's killing me.
The time between approval and deposit is not instantaneous.
Correct. I set it up in ways that it was supposed to be closer to that this time, though.
It's okay.
What's up, Lindsay? Lindsay says, "Ayo, did I miss the tiny cats?" Yes.
They are still here on the tabs.
They look like this. They're tiny little guys. They're like a foot long, which is, but like that's like this.
Fat.
That's like this big.
I know. That's
They're
how
little,
big Waffles is.
They're like little guys.
That's how big Waffles is. Only Waffles. I don't know. Waffles just doesn't seem to want to grow, which makes me feel bad because I feed that cat an insane amount. I started feeding her kitten food because I was like, oh my god, like
You said tortoises just don't get very big.
Apparently they
though.
just don't get big. But like for the longest time I was like, am I doing something wrong? Like she's not underweight, she's just little.
She's definitely bigger than she was as a kitten.
Well, yeah, but like
she still feels like kind of kitten size almost. Like
her sister's ginormous compared to her now though.
Yeah.
And they used to be the same size. I'm gonna go see if I can find Waffles real quick. Waffles?
Lindsay says I want one. Where are they? Sri Lanka and India and Nepal. The only 3 places they are, and they're only like a foot big, and the population's doing better now, but we were saying they apparently part of why they're so endangered and haven't been caught on camera for years is not only that they're tiny, but people used to think they were baby leopards, and so they would. There's Waffles. They would take them out because they were like, "Oh, let's get these baby leopards," and they were actually killing these like full size cats that are just the tiniest cats in the world.
Floor, like all wrapped up. Found my scissors in the kids' room again.
Which scissors? Like your crafting scissors?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I have so many. Like just dollar store scissors that you can use. Why do you need my craft scissors? Why? Why do you need them?
Because this is our life. It will be our life for forever now. I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
Shiki says whittle baby. Yeah, they're tiny. And Waffles is tiny.
Waffles is tiny.
Waffles?
Waffles? I just grabbed her. Stop grabbing her. Jeff. She likes me, too. She just didn't want to be... She just squeak at you? Squawk? Is she purring? Well, it's obvious you're her dad. Like, aw, so comfortable. Like, okay, I guess.
What are they called? They're called the rusty spotted cat. The tiniest and lightest cat on earth. Rusted spotted cat?
Those looks mad. I can tell that like resting bitch face. Yes. What? Yeah.
Dylan says, Jeff, the one guy from Diamond, Carl, that was handling the shipping, legal paperwork, and customer service, took a job at the IRS a few weeks ago. Trump fired everybody else. Now Carl's in charge of audits, payments, distribution, and online help chat. Might take a while for the payment to come through. Somebody please give Carl a break. Lingsy said, is Waffle a Sri Lankan tree baby leopard too?
She might be. Or little. She's such a little like goblin when she was a baby too. She looked like a Muppet.
She did look like
she
a Muppet.
didn't. Oh, she didn't look like a real cat. She's so party. She's such a party girl.
Breaks for Carl.
No breaks for Carl.
But yeah, I don't know. Waffles a lot. She
Hi.
Hi,
beautiful.
and then like Selena said, Selena takes really good
hi.
care of all the cats. Like hyper crazy washes all their dishes between them eating and stuff too, and like takes way better care.
It's geese. It scared me. I just
Okay.
heard. I was like, what is that sound?
Takes way better care of a cat than I would ever, and it's not that, and she like specifically switched over to kitten food for Waffles just to try to fatten her up and get her to grow more, and she's just
Yeah, like I don't only feed her kitten food. She gets her normal like indoor cat food too, but like her wet food gets mixed with kitten food. Hopefully put on the pounds.
but she's just gonna be a little girl. Like that's just
Little small.
Yeah, I don't know. On the refund thing. Well, like the other thing was like I did the thing this time where it's like, "Hey, you want that refund advance?" And I was like, "I do want that refund advance." And then it was like I thought I was getting all of it, but I was only approved for a small amount of it, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I can use this. And that was a help 3 weeks ago. But like I was like, okay, we should be good. And then yeah, I was like, with Selena's birthday being tomorrow, it's been this whole thing of like, if it could just show up right before the birthday, that would be the most helpful thing in the world. And that didn't happen, but that's okay.
It is. It'll be alright.
Yeah, I just won't be able to spoil you as much as I was hoping.
Okay, I will live.
It's not okay.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, so for Selena's birthday and Dork Duck's birthday, we will be live tomorrow, both for Dork Duck Daily, and then later tomorrow night we will be live for the birthday / Dork Duck 1 year anniversary celebration. And then I don't know that we'll be like capping right on top of that for like affiliate anniversary, because that's like next week, I think. At some point, I think we'll just probably randomly be in a stream and be like, "Oh, that's that day," because I don't know when it happens. There's probably a way to look it up.
Maybe.
One of the like thingy says it. Is it on the tracker thing? Okay. I accidentally typed a Dork Duck tracker into Google, like that would be what would get me there.
Yes.
Was not that in the slightest.
Yes. What was that?
My phone yeeting itself off the table. I don't know. There's some way to figure this out that's not. Overview. I thought I would have like an affiliate since blah blah blah. Oh man, we dropped from the top 4.9% to now we're at 5.01%.
Shit.
Burn everything down.
Cry.
It's so weird at like a year of Twitch now, and poor Sam has been dealing with me going like, Like, look at my spreadsheet. I have all this data for a year of Dork
Sam
Duck.
is not the only person who's dealing with that. Thank you.
I put all this data into a spreadsheet, and I'm trying to derive any sort of meaning from it, and there's none.
There's meaning, the joy, the whimsy.
It's just there's like data is great.
Is it?
It just doesn't it's not everything, right? And you can't.
Is it not everything? I feel like it's everything to you. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know why my
Why
phone
does
keeps
your
falling.
phone keep doing that? I thought it was
Um,
laying flat. How did it do that?
Shiki said not the data. I'm sorry. Sam said you could tell me about it. Lena can have peace. No, it's
I can't. I can't.
no, it's just like the same thing happens with the store sometimes where it's like you have to make decisions. And so you go like, well, let's get all the data into a spreadsheet and then let's make the decisions. And like I at one point, so like there's this thing with comic books where it's like there is incentive variance. And I love spreadsheets. I love them.
I know.
So much.
I know.
And I love making little spreadsheet formulas. And I love
You've spreadsheeted our life out down to the hour before. It's nice for my autism. My autism is like, yeah, structure. And then my ADHD is like, what the fuck? What is that?
listen, Moneyball's one of my favorite films. I like being able to make spreadsheets that's like put this in and like see what, because like there's this thing with comic books called incentive variance, right?
I know.
Where it's like, hey, here's a special cover of this comic book that you can only get if you get 25 of the regular ones. Which means that, and they often sell for more. You know,
I've been looking at that 1 in 25 Harley Quinn recently.
Yeah, I gotta make a call on that today.
It's my birthday.
So like, but like that's, you have to like going like, can we sell yes, we could sell the 1 in 25 for more, but
yeah,
can we
have
sell
the
the other?
data of if it's gonna sell it all though?
But can we sell the other 25 issues? You know, and it's like, or can we sell? Because it's not that you need to sell all of them. Can you sell enough of them
to pay for
because you have to buy 26 copies at that point, right?
Yes.
So I built a nice little spreadsheet.
You did.
And you can plug it in and plug in the price of the comic, and you can plug in like the how many copies you'd have to sell and what you'd have to sell the thing at. Like, it's all there. The end of the day, all that data is great. It's still like is a gut call every time of like you don't have one for one. It doesn't matter like how much stuff you put in there. You still have to make a call with your gut. Like, yeah, I think we can sell these. And so data is
You're
great.
using feelings and not facts.
I hate it. I hate it. But kind of, yeah. Like it's like data is great, but at the end of the day, like it only takes you so far, and you have to go with like what is
what
actually
your
going.
Gut tells ya.
Lindsay says blasphemy. Spreadsheets are the devil's work.
Jeff fucking loves spreadsheets. He would communicate solely in spreadsheets if he could. I think. I mean this in the most nice, loving way possible.
I don't know if I can meet solely in spreadsheets. It's that thing that it's like, if you were like, Jeff, you never pick up your clothes. And I would be like, yes, I do. And then you were like, actually, here's a spreadsheet. I charted every day you did and didn't pick up your clothes.
I'm not going to do that.
I would be like, oh, you're right. I do only do that 12% of the time. I'm going to up those stats.
Okay, no. Roll it back just a hot second for me. Why would it be up to the person who's like, hey, I need you to pick up your clothes? Which I don't give a shit about you picking up your clothes. But like, if I needed you to pick up your clothes, why would it be on me to be like, yes, let me just pull out my little data thingy here and just I'm gonna mark that down on the day that Jeff didn't pick up. Like, do you realize that it would take less effort for me to just pick up the item of clothes?
Yeah, no, but I'm not saying it makes sense in that situation. I'm saying that it's like there are plenty of times where like I feel like I pick up my clothes most of the time, but if it was spreadsheeted out, it would actually be like 12%. And so that's why I like spreadsheets and I like data, because there's a lot of times where you feel like things are like a certain way,
But it's actually
but the data will also be like actually no.
Yeah, I'm a very feeling oriented person. I'm very sensitive. Very feelings driven.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I read a book this weekend that bullied me about being feelings oriented, called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
yes.
I'm still in the camp that book did not help me as much as you think it did, or it should have, but it did do something. It did flip some switches around in my brain to where I'm like, oh, I need to like.
I wasn't saying that like that book would definitely help you or not help you. I was just saying like it helped me, and so like when those things.
You.
No, I'm not saying
Just
you're
like
me.
little tiny you.
I'm saying it's like it was hard for me to even have like a context of like conversations with you about that stuff. When you would like be like, "Oh man, I'm struggling with this." And I would be like, "Well, this book really helped me. You should check it out." And then as we were like 2 years into you not checking the book out, like I feel like I keep suggesting the thing that helped me with that.
Yeah. No, it did do something to my brain. So rest assured. Rest assured. It did what it was intended to do.
Lindsay said, I recently did a statistics assignment for college using Excel. You would have loved it, Jeff. It was a big list of data, and I had to use formula to work out the standard deviation squared with the mean, median, and mode, and then plot the data into graphs. Bored me to death.
Yeah, I about just got up and walked out of the room when you started reading those words.
Whereas I'm hard as a rocket ship right now. Nick said, I went on a girl who sent me a spreadsheet of restaurants she'd like to try, so I sent her back a pie chart of my preferences. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
I love all that.
I do like things like that where there's like, I struggle so much with making decisions, so having that like data visually helps me. But then like when you get too deep into the detail, I'm just like, whoa, there's too much now. I can't. I'm swimming in all these options. I'm scared.
There's a subgenre of like relationship fights on Reddit that are my favorite, which is like a relationship like is fighting about something over and over, and then one of them starts just charting the thing that they're saying is happening and the other person is saying isn't. And then like months later when it comes up again is like,
that's exhausting. That
look,
sounds...
look, I have charted it. But 10 times out of 10 what happens is the person gets angry that they charted it. They never go like,
oh wow, thank you for that data.
Yeah.
They get angry that I would be the person that like, I wouldn't get angry that you charted it, but like if you were asking me to chart it, then I'm just like, but that sounds so
yeah. No, I'm not asking you to do it. Most famously, the most famous Reddit one is like the guy who charted when his wife had sex or not, and like what the
ew.
Yes, you, but also it was like...
Did he do it so that he could be like, oh, you owe me this now?
No, he did... okay. Everyone has their opinions of this entire thing.
I think I've read this.
But he did it after, like, he kept trying to, like, communicate, like, hey, we as a couple don't do this anymore. And she'd be like, sure we do. And he'd be like...
then he charted it?
He charted it and charted the reasons...
That's stressful.
...why he was being rejected. Yes, it's not... I'm not saying this is the correct approach to this problem in the slightest. I'm just saying this is the most famous example of it, is that like every time they talked about it, they had different perspectives. Mm-hmm. There's that like famous joke in Annie Hall where like they're both sitting with their therapist, and it's like, how often do you have sex? And she's like, oh, constantly, like 3 times a week. And then they're interviewing him, and he's like, barely ever, like 3 times a week. It's like perspectives can be very different.
Yeah, and also if you're dating somebody, usually I would hope that you'd figure out pretty fast. Maybe not. Maybe some people. I know, like you and I were pretty open from the get go that like libidos are different for everybody.
Yeah.
But like you and I are pretty matched, and so like that's important. And like it would be difficult if either of us ever started like going another direction just because our libidos are matched right now, and if suddenly something switched up, that would throw us off.
Yeah, that would be tough.
But like sometimes couples don't have those kinds of conversations, and like that's
Right. Lacey said Jeff got a mean boner, but it's only medium size. Nick says, yeah, but how things are month 1 aren't the same. How are they year 1?
this is true also.
Yeah.
Things change over time.
Shiki
The
said,
data changes.
yeah, Shiki says 3 times a week is definitely not barely ever. Yeah, it's a joke about like just how perspectives and stuff, because it is probably to some people.
My brain registers that as barely ever.
Yeah, I was trying not to brag, but like,
I wasn't. That's not really bragging. I don't know that I consider it that. I just, for whatever reason.
But yeah, people have different libidos, and that's okay. I think part of the problem is that people are told to not put an importance on that when they're dating. Like, they're like, oh, that's not everything. That's not it. But if you're going to marry someone and be like monogamous, like that's a big deal, like whether that matches up or not.
Each person, yes, that is a big deal. I think it's possible for someone to exist with someone else who's doesn't have the same libido as them. I just think it needs to be a long conversation first.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like everything though. But that's not to say that like that it should be expected. Like if your libido is higher, you can't be like, oh my god, hello. Like, yeah, like that's where it becomes.
Yeah, I think where that dude started charting it was just that the conversation wasn't like honest, and like probably because he was fucking hounding her and not being respectful. And
yeah, see, like if you're being respectful about it, and then you bring the data to the table in like a very like scientific way, I can't lie, I would probably still be offended. If the like, just because I'm again a very feelings oriented person, so I would be like, oh, in my head I thought this was happening this way, but like,
yeah.
And then bringing the data, I'd probably be like, what the, you literally got on your phone and charted when I said no to you, like what? But it's
Cheeky says charting your sex life is so gross unless you're dealing with fertility issues and trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
Well,
there is something that does feel inherently gross about it, because it's just like, I don't. Also, like, you can't really like, if you're charting your sex life, you're kind of like putting it in this weird like scheduled thing, and like I can't schedule sex. The second that someone's like, all right, it's 10 p.m., it's sexy time, not to be TMI, but that I am turned off at that point. I'm like,
yeah.
I let, again, very emotional person, I let whatever like emotional thing I have lead. I'm not gonna be like, all right, it is exactly 10:30 p.m. It is designated time. We have until 11 p.m.
They do like though, like relationships that go through like lots of changes of like, hey, we're together, we have kids, we have young kids.
I was just gonna point that out though. If you have young kids, or if you have kids at all, like sometimes you do have windows in which you're like, all right, the kids are gone.
The Barney tape is 73 minutes.
Or like something like, but I mean like, the situationally it does vary, but I do think that like, again, if I feel like again, the tism in me likes structure, but like my brain specifically likes spontaneity and like impulsivity. So.
Sure, but what often happens is when couples go through like different periods of like where like that's not prioritized, sometimes counselors will actually encourage like schedule it for now
Yeah.
and just do it, and then you'll hit a point where you don't have to schedule it again. But you guys have gotten so out of the habit of like finding each other for this that it's like it's just not happening.
Yeah.
But that's also like they're like, hey, schedule it like on a Monday or something. They're not like
Monday.
they're not like that like at 7 p.m. Like it's not like
that would stress me out.
Yeah.
It was like 7 p.m. Monday. You have a 30-minute window. If you don't reach your goal by 7:30, like it's over. It's like, okay.
well,
That's
like
stressy.
what happens is like so like when you're young and you're dating and like you're like, okay, we're dating, we're going out tonight, we're probably gonna do some stuff after, like that's like in both people's heads. But like when you're domestically living together, sometimes those signals and stuff for a lot of couples get broken down and get to like where they're harder to like and so that's where a lot of counselors will be like, hey, just schedule it for now. Like you'll get there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kiki said, I think the biggest part that makes charting it gross for me is like you feel that your partner is obligated to have sex with you a certain amount or you're going to shove it in their face. Yeah, that is where I'm like, what is the intention here? Like, are you using this against me or are you using this to like point out that we're not compatible? Because I could see if you're like, okay, clearly we're not getting it done. Clearly this is not a thing that we are both whatever. And like, you gotta like the dude, if the dude cares that much about it, then he should be like, hey, we're not compatible.
Yeah.
Like, don't use it as a weapon, I guess. It's information, it's not a weapon.
Right. And it's like there's it's been a while since I read that particular post. I would have to like go back because I'm finding myself defending a guy who might not be worth defending.
Yeah, from what I remember, that post did not rub me the right way. Like,
yeah.
So,
but that I would also say
could be
though,
a different one, though.
10 out of 10 times in whenever that happens in even different subjects, like whenever in a relationship, someone's, because I've seen it on the other end too, of like, you know, like I keep trying to talk to my husband about putting the seat down in the bathroom and he says he does, but he doesn't. And so like the data driven person just literally charts it. And then instead of being like, oh, you are right, I am leaving that up a lot.
Then you gotta kind of,
the person gets angry that they've been charted.
Then you kind of gotta get into the because like as somebody who was with somebody who would gaslight me constantly, I was almost in that area of like I have to literally write down everything that's happening because otherwise I'm going to be told later it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And like this isn't happening. The reality is completely wrong. So like I get that aspect of it too, but like at that point, I would just, if I felt like I needed to constantly debate my reality with someone, I probably wouldn't be comfortable with that person if I constantly have to defend.
Sure. But there's also the possibility of like someone, when they think of it, puts it down. The times they don't think of it, they just walk out of the room. And so for them, I'm putting it down all the time. Because in their heads, like that's happening, and then it's sorry, there's chat. I'm trying to like catch up on here. Well, okay. Other Sam said 30-minute window. Who needs that long? Missed that before. Lindsay says, my missus was doing this when we tried for our second. It was funny because it's a fertility calendar in her phone and it comes up with a love heart for each time we did it. It was funny seeing your whole year of sex plotted in a calendar.
I like the little heart detail though. That's cute.
Nick says, I think it's more to provide reference. I tried for sex 11 times last month. You said no 10 times. So there's supporting data to go with an issue. Yeah. it could be a situation where it's like, and that happens sometimes where couples hit those modes and it's just like that. It's like they can't even have an honest conversation because there's so much feelings born into a thing on both sides.
I have a question that has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about. Have you ever heard of or eaten a Dubai chocolate bar?
No.
I figured you haven't. Do you? I don't know. Like, they're those ones that are on TikTok that have the green stuff in them.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? People like break them apart and they've got that green stuff in
What
them.
are the
I think
chocolate?
it's pistachio.
What are the chocolates that have like the chocolate bars that have like literal like crickets in them?
Huh? What? I don't know what those are called, but I don't want those. I was talking about wanting the Dubai chocolate.
Oh,
I don't want the cricket chocolate.
I kind of want to try the cricket chocolate.
Lindsay said, is leaving the seat up a problem? I think it's fair we leave it up since we had to put it up in the first place. I think the ladies leave it down and we leave it up and it's a square playing field. What action proceed? Oh my god.
Lindsay, I have no notes. I think that's great. It's perfect. Vince says it can fall on both sides, but I have to imagine it usually comes across on the expectation side. The motivation to the action is suspicious. Might be the right way to say it. Yeah, but like also like what are you supposed to do if you're like, I guess just divorce or break up or something, but like if you're like, hey, every time I initiate, you reject me, and someone's like, no, I don't. And like the reasons are all
goodbye.
yeah, and the reasons are because that guy's thing was always like it's a different reason every day, but like when you it in aggregate, we're just not this part of our life is now gone. And yes, you have a different because like whenever he's like tried to be like, well, last Thursday, and she'd be like, I had a headache last Thursday. You know, it'd be like it suddenly they were talking about the individual thing while he was trying to talk about the aggregate. And a spreadsheet shows the aggregate, but no one wants to see a spreadsheet of how much they're not fucking their husband.
Especially coming from your husband, because then it does feel a little bit like, then you do feel like there's an obligation there. And then it starts feeling icky.
Jakey said it's still gross though. If you're being denied that many times, I think a conversation needs to be had and figuring out why they keep saying no. I guess it's like a lot of things though, where it depends on how it's presented, how it's addressed. I feel like in general, if a guy is going to take the time to chart it, in the most cases, it's not going to be approached in a kind manner.
Would you chart it? Not to be like expose you or anything, but like you do love them spreadsheets.
I do. As someone who's been in like a more dead bedroom-ish situation and used to hang out on our dead bedroom sometimes and stuff, and it was like I just needed to communicate with the partner, and then we like got on the other side of that stuff. But like when that story popped up, I got it probably more than the average. I was like, I'm not sure that would be my approach, but I like that thing where someone does something and you're like,
that's not how I would approach it, but I understand the intention.
You understand like immediately how someone got there, but you're also like, nobody.
Yeah, no, like, yeah,
like it's it is tough anytime any two people are in that situation where, like, I remember even like with stuff with the store where it would be like, you know, one of the big fights at the store with someone who's like not around anymore was changing the hours. And us going, we have 5 years of data that being open after 5 is not actually like does not actually make sense.
Money.
Yeah.
I mean, it might make some level of money, but the money to time ratio is not adding up.
And we had 5 years worth of things, and it's like the feeling that I had when I opened the store.
I'm gonna go pee. Do you want me to leave the seat up when I'm done?
the feeling that I had when I opened the store
I will not be doing that, by the
is
way.
that being open till 7 made sense. And the feelings that the person I was fighting with was that being open so people can get out of work and go to the store made sense. But the actual data that we had said that, like, we did not make enough from 5 to 7 on most days of the week to justify it. And like, we had that data, and then presenting that data to someone did not change their feeling, and their feeling to them was more important than the data. Which could or could not be true. It was just, it is what it is. It's at some point. Like I said, spreadsheets only get you so far. Cheeky says the toilet lid should be down at any time that you're using it, because when you flush the toilet, you're sending aerosoled pee and poo particles all over the bathroom. So the sheet should be down start to finish. He says that's out, never putting it down again. Nick says, I could see doing cleanup starting at 5 and just leaving the place open until you're done. Yeah, and that, I like, for our regulars and stuff, I'll always be like, if they're like, hey man, I really want to come get my stuff tomorrow, but I have a tough time coming in, I'll be like, yeah, just text me. And if you say you're on your way, like, I'll stay open to 5:30 or whatever. But yeah, we had all that data, and it was one of those things. Once I was paying, I don't have employees now, but at the time I had employees. And once I was paying other people to be there, and then looking at the numbers, like, we couldn't afford to pay another person to sit there because the money was not coming in those hours. And then it kind of made me reevaluate the hours I was working and go, like, well, if it's not worth it for me to pay someone to be there, why am I there? Why am I missing time with my kids and stuff? He says to start and finish, as in before and after. LOL. I fix this problem by sitting down to pee a lot, because I'm lazy. I'm a fat, lazy dude who's just like, that's. I'd like to sit for a minute. I sit down to pee.
I'd like to sit for a minute.
Like an old man.
Hand cream smells like old people, and but I need hand cream because my hands are fucking dry because of the winter.
Yeah.
Like lavender, kind of, but like not good lavender, like old people.
Did you know me during my lotion era?
Your Nivea men lotion?
Yeah.
Yes, because I found it in your dresser
when
I went to steal a t-shirt.
So you know me lotioned up and not lotioned up. Is there a difference? Because I kind of fell after a while. I'm like, why am I doing all this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was really drunk during a lot of your lotion up era. So I don't think I was paying close attention to your skin.
Shiki says, nah, treat yourself to a sitting pee. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand why more dudes don't just be like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking sit to pee. Like, it's this weird thing where the worst thing the toxic masculinity has taken from us is the ability to sit down to pee without feeling like you're not fulfilling your manlyhood or something. What's weird?
That you guys can't sit down to pee.
It is almost no dude will either do it or admit that he does it. It's very weird, but it's like it's a better world, guys.
It's a better world. Sit down to pee.
Just sit down to pee.
I dropped my.
Now, if you're out in public, yeah, 100%. Just walk in, urinal, wash your hands 70,000 times, and get out of there. That's a better thing. But if you're at home, yeah, nice leisurely pee, watch a few TikToks. Good time.
Look at this little case that my lip.
Jesus, or what?
My lip and
Are those otters?
Meerkats.
Meerkats?
Yeah.
They're cute. Shiki says, fellas, is it gay to use the toilet seat? Shiki says, we all need to moisturize. Do it again. All right, I'll think about it. I had so much of that stuff.
I realized that it made it seem like I was just like drunk for the first like few months of our relationship. We were just very casual the first few months of our relationship, and so it was a lot of like late night hanging out.
The first year or two.
No, we started hanging out during the daytime like a few months in.
Oh, okay.
It was, I remember because I was like, I'm a daytime girl now. Yeah. I had never been both receiving and recipient and receiving of a booty call. It was like a mutual booty call.
Yes.
Where so like and
that
so
we eventually turned into a relationship. Yeah.
And we were like, oh shit, we're going out during the day. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Crazy. I didn't know any better.
Vince said, have a great day, y'all. I get to start my second trainee at my job. Laysai, good luck. Nick says, I
believe in you.
Nick says, I think it's because being able to stand to is like a gift, and it's disrespecting the gift not to use.
I can't lie. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've never stood to pee, to be completely honest with you. So, like, maybe that is better than sitting. Oh, and if it touches the inside of the bowl, you can't throw it away like a toothbrush. Oh, that's true. I did not consider this aspect.
Sam says, I absolutely refuse to squish my junk down to pee. Hi, Pancake. Can we not walk across the soundboard while we're using it, please? Maybe?
No. He's walking on the soundboard, and there's nothing you could do about it. She's princess of this castle. We are just her meager servants.
All right. So, by the way, tomorrow. Where did that just go?
Where did what just go?
There it is.
Oh my god. All you can see is Delilah's forehead.
There we go. Hey, tomorrow we have this going on. Tomorrow night. Please come out, hang out.
My face.
Go back to there. It's Selena's birthday.
It is my birthday tomorrow.
It's also the Dork Duck 1 year anniversary.
I am turning 29.
29? Can we please watch that episode?
Yeah. Sure.
29?
Yeah, that's fine. And I said yes.
Nick said, speaking of Twitch, my dog discovered why
Speaking of which, not Twitch.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of which, my dog discovered why peeing into the wind is a bad move yesterday. Just blasted himself. That's the worst.
Oh, puppy.
Not a good time. But yeah, that's tomorrow night. We'll be here in the morning for Dork Tech Daily. Then we'll be back tomorrow night for like, woo, 1 year.
We don't know what we're playing. Please don't ask me. I don't know.
She also doesn't know where she's eating today for her birthday dinner.
If you want structure for me on that day, best you'll get is what time we're starting. I don't know what we're doing. I don't even know what time we're ending. Well, we might even not end at midnight. We might end later than midnight. Who knows?
It's all a mystery.
Woo!
But yeah, that's going tomorrow night. We will be here. I won't be doing the Final Fantasy stream later today because
he is taking me out.
Yeah. Today is the day that the shop's not open, so it's the day that we can throw the kids in the car and go do fun things for birthday.
Throw the kids in the car.
Yeah. And actually do fun birthday shenanigans.
Pile them all in the car, drive somewhere. I think we're going to Barnes & Noble because they have new Calico Critters at Barnes & Noble. And if you think, wow, why aren't you buying books at Barnes & Noble? To which I answer, I don't know.
We own a bookstore?
Yeah, we have a bookstore. I just know there's Calico Critters. And, well, we have some books at Barnes & Noble that we don't have at our store. Kind of, probably.
Yeah, but now that we have to use all the book distributors to get the comics.
We can literally get any book we ever wanted. Oh my god, I can start ordering my horror books.
Yep. I put some raid messages in the chat.
Did you?
I did.
You know?
I did now.
Oh
There's two of them, one with global emotes and one for like if you're not subscribed. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are wonderful. Be honest, be kind, be useful. Live a good fucking life. Thanks for arguing about toilet seats with us.
Is it still? Or still on? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Freaking me out.
Yeah, it's rotating around.
Rotating.
It's not rotating fast enough. Let's go like Sam, but he's not on yet. Let's go back Reese. I've known Reese forever. Met him through Lingsy. And good peoples. Doing workout stuff right now. And then he's kind of like come back as like doing a PNG tuber stuff. But yeah, we'll go over there, say hi. Please be kind to our friends. Be honest, be kind, be useful. And live a good fucking life. We love you all. We will see you tomorrow.
Yay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Farewell.